All right, all right. What is going on, man? How y'all doing out there in Atlanta, Bird Gangland, and also on Uncle C's Lounge on YouTube? Glad to have everyone here on a glorious October 2nd. And the reason why it is so glorious, because today, for the first time in a long time, the Atlanta Falcons send us home from Mercedes-Benz with a win, folks. I'm trying to tell you, listen, it has been an outstanding week so far, a weekend, I should say, for Georgia teams. We had, of course, the Atlanta Braves taking the first 2 out of 3 in this big Mets series. Hopefully they can finish it off today, but even if they don't, they put themselves in a really good position to get that first round bye. We have the Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, it's early, y'all. Don't worry about if you're number 1, number 2. Long as you're in the top 4, Georgia will be fine. They need to go back to the drawing board, but they'll be fine. Pulled off a ugly but good win. I'm going to get back to that ugly win later on. But they won the game, came back on the road in the SEC against Missouri, wins that game. Georgia Tech, who fired their coach, fired their AD at the beginning of the week and have looked pretty bad, especially when you start talking about, losing to Central Florida like they did. Came back, went on the road, and beat a ranked team. And yeah, it was Pittsburgh, but they beat a ranked team. So when you start putting all of that together, when I woke up this morning, I also had the pleasure of watching the Saints blow a game earlier today. So when I got into the stadium, I was in full mode. I actually had the family there today. All of us were there. So that was great to always have the love of my life there with our 2 kids. And we all enjoyed. So to be there and have all this winning atmosphere around us with the Braves, with the Bulldogs, with the Yellow Jackets, and now to come into the Benz and knowing that this Browns team is talented. Yeah, we heard too much about Nick Chubb and what Kareem Rush can do and all of that stuff. But, folks, we went in there and we won the game. We'll talk tons this week in posts and notes about cleaning up this and Mariota isn't that and the defense needs to tighten up this and you can't throw interceptions in this and we should have scored touchdowns instead of field goals and that, and I got it. But you know what? When you win the game, it kind of eases everything up for just a second, because you know what? At the end of the day, we win this bad boy today. We are 2-2, and I'm just so happy that I had an opportunity to go out there and check it out. The crowd, again, look, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do to their tickets and stuff like that, so it's all good. That stadium is still way too full of visiting people. I was talking earlier on my brother Tidy's line and telling him it was about 70-30, 60-40. And with the Falcons fans making the most noise when they needed to, but just way too much dog pound mess. But we sent them home after that interception, boy. They had looks on their face that, I didn't want to mimic because they looked ticked off. But we're going to talk about this game. Let me get it started with everybody in here. Martavius, what's going on, my brother? Good to see you in here. Jonathan, how you doing, brother? Dude, I'm doing great after that big win today. Brother John Higgins is on Uncle Steve's Lounge. What's going on, Astro? Hey, man. To this day. Matter of fact, we passed by Douglas on the way home today. So funny you should say that. Good. RJ say Grady the Freak Jarrett. You know, I was talking about Grady a little earlier to Tidy, and we always make fun because Tidy was trying to trade him earlier this summer. And I was saying to myself, I was like, ooh, I don't know if you want to trade him, but I understood the logic. The logic was this was going to be a brand new team, get some assets for him and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you what, y'all, Grady Jarrett has 3.5 sacks. And as a defensive lineman, not a linebacker, not a DN, but for interior lineman to have 3.5 sacks in the first 4 games, I'm trying to tell you something. That's pretty good. RJ also says Caleb Huntley, and I'm going to get on Caleb Huntley in 1 second because he needs to be talked about. Phillips, what's going on? Phillips says 2 wins and counting. No need to clean up that. Need to clean up that fourth quarter though. And you know what, Philip? I think we're at a point. I hate to go here. I just think we're gonna be that grind. See if we can just stay close enough to be relevant in the last minute. Every single game we played this year has gone down to the last minute. Every one. Saints, I don't need to remind y'all about. The Rams had an opportunity to take the lead in the last minute on a play there. Last week, Seattle had to stop a drive with an interception. Today, had to stop a drive with an interception. I just think that's going to be the mantra of this team right now until we fill in some of those needs that we all talk about. And that's not a bad thing because if you're winning when you're doing it, that's cool. John says, well, we got one. Yes, sir. And at the Benz, somebody pointed it out to me, and I think I talked about, dude, we won in the Benz only 6 times prior to today. Since 2017, since the 2017 season, man. I mean, but I think it's right because I've definitely walked out of there with my head hung low more times than I had boasting and talking today to Cleveland fans, trying to show them the closest way to our transit system on their way out. RJ says good halftime adjustments for Dean Pease. He had some. There were still a couple of things. Again, and when you win, I don't want to oversaturate the negative, but you're right. Great adjustments he made. There were some things I really wish we could kind of tighten up a little more, but yeah. Jonathan said, Big everybody won this weekend. Absolutely, brother. Whole city. I love it. Love it, love it. Brother Rusty, what's going on, man? Said, did the Benz have more people in it today than you thought it would after the week 1 debacle? Dude, it's so funny you say that, Rusty, so I'm glad you said that. Let me tell you something. And I don't know whether that was the Cleveland crowd out there, because it looked like quite a bit of red and black. You are absolutely right, Rusty. I turned to my son during the game, and we were sitting up there, and I say, is it just me, or is there more people in here? It was more people in there at the first quarter. I mean, it was definitely more packed, believe it or not, than the Saints game. And anybody who went to the game, come tell me. It was more people in there. Now, I don't know whether that means Cleveland travels better now. Maybe more people want to be outside with the party with the Saints. I don't know. But it was definitely in the first quarter, a lot more folks. When they asked for the noise on third down, it was more significant in this game than it was during the Saints games. That's a very astute observation there, Rusty, and you're right. Philip says Smith's first back-to-back win. Is that his first one? Or did we? I thought we won back-to-back to get to 500 last year. But you're probably right. Yeah, we'll go with that. Hey, I'll take it. Let's go for 3. Why not? Let's go for 3. Facebook user 4 quarters hard work. And I'm telling y'all again, and I apologize again because I can't see the other screen. If you see your stuff coming up as Facebook user, make sure y'all put a name on it, because I love talking to you individually. I don't want y'all to think I'm not talking to you on here. But yes, 4 quarters of hard work, without a doubt. Timothy Jarrells, what's going on, man? What a birthday gift, and happy birthday to you, brother. Happy birthday to you. Yes, this was a very good gift. Very good gift. Tilda Love, what's going on, classmate? How you doing? Barely the Falcons won by 3 points, David Love. You know what? You tell the brother that a win is a win is a win. Tell him where in the paper do you see BW, which means barely wins, and W. It says WL. We won. That's it. Win is a win is a win. Facebook user says, my God, what's going on? Jonathan says, we are back at 500, so I'm good. Absolutely. You have to take baby steps with this, folks, because we haven't been in this position for a long time where we've been, 500 this early in the season. It's been a second. Facebook user says, as a team that sucked for the last few years and was expected to be horrible in the last place in the South, winning feels good for the soul. And look, y'all can play if y'all want to, but I co-sign this all the way. Going out of that stadium today was such a good feeling. And a lot of folks thought Cleveland was going to come in here and Chubb was going to have 500 yards and Kareem Hunt was going to have 250 and all of that stuff. Y'all go look at the prognosticators. Oh, they're just going to wear the Falcons down. They're just going to whatever. And we turned out to be the ones pushing the pedal. I love it. Montoya, how you doing? Good to see you in the house. I know you are ecstatic about this win today. Brother Clayton, what's going on? 500. I will take it all day. Rusty says Brown fans travel well. It's interesting, Rusty, because, this year we have the Steeler fans coming in here too. And I remember the last time we played Cleveland, that was at the Georgia Dome, and they came in. I just don't seem like I remember them like that. But, I mean, you could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I just don't remember them traveling that well. But I'm glad that we're on the right end of the win, at least. Abel is on Uncle Steve's Lounge. What's going on? How about that red and black Russian attack? And let me take you guys to the preseason this year. And we talked about it. Caleb Huntley. Dude, what a story. When you think about last year, making the squad, getting cut, being on the practice squad, I think he actually got picked up by somebody after last year too on their practice squad. And then to come back and to absolutely have the most dominant drive, in my opinion, of the 2022 season. When you can hand off to a dude, and I'm not ignoring the 2 carries that Algier got in that drive either, but when you can hand off to somebody and say, here, just fall forward about 6-7 yards, and you're beating up on that defense, and you're wearing down that defense. And now, when Mariota wants to do, it would have been great to do a play action in between that, but no problem, it worked. To hand it off to that young man and for him to deliver every carry. I mean, that's big to me, man. That's a story in itself. By far, he's the player of the game, and probably the most, so far this year, the most critical drive we've had this year, and notwithstanding the win we had last week. But to give it to an undrafted free agent from last year and say, run the ball for me, however many times he did on that drive and score, folks, that's the stuff dreams are made of, man. Ask somebody who's ever played college ball, small ball, HBCU, or that being said, just an undrafted free agent, period, about opportunities. And that man got an opportunity on the biggest stage and he performed. Don't think he gonna get another shot, y'all? Shh. They about to get that ball to Caleb now. We about to mess around and have it a three-headed monster. Matter of fact, they were doing so good, I think CP had to come back in the game and say, hold on a second. My knee's sore, but let me get some of these actions. Outstanding performance from Caleb Huntley today, man. Love it, love it, love it. Jonathan says, Tidy, get in here. Tidy was just on with me. Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that. I am going to send him a thing right quick in case he wants to go. But Tidy was on for a while. And if he wants to come on, obviously he can. But yeah, this is that was just awesome from Huntley today, man. Let me get back up here. I am way behind. Clayton says we also have to think it was without Garrett and Clowney, and we got the Bucks next. It would have been a next push for our line to be ready for them. Yeah, I mean, yeah. At this point, man, everybody's getting hurt, and you play who's out there. You play who's out there, and it is what it is. Chuck, what's going on, Chuck? Say, can't take these close ones. Let's blow some people out. But let me ask you a question, Chuck. In the stats, in the win-loss column, I promise you, they don't say won by 20 wins or win by 1 win. They say win and loss. There's a hypothetical with this Falcon team that we should be 4-0. And then there's another hypothetical that could say that we should be 0-4. So the blowouts, I would love it. It would be nice to sit back and be able to relax during the fourth quarter. But as we've known with the history, unfortunately, of our team, you just got to stay with them to the end, man. At least you're entertained. John says, we live in the ATL. This is the Mecca. If you want to succeed as a black man or a person, we have everyone from everywhere is here. The ATL is alive, fellas and young ladies. Michael said, did Anderson play well? I missed a lot of the game. And you know what, Michael? I'm not even going to lie to you. I wasn't even looking as much at Abdullah as I probably should have. I'm going to tell you what my focus was today. And usually when I go to games, I usually pick out what to focus on. Today, because Cleveland's run game was going to be prominent, I was really paying a lot of attention to what Chubb and Kareem Hunt were doing in the background. They were almost tipping off some of their run plays, because every time you saw Kareem come in, the majority of the time, he didn't take the carry if he was starting off in the backfield. If he started off in the backfield, he was do like a little chip block and then kind of scoot out to the outside. They threw that play to him a couple of times. Nick Chubb is just Nick Chubb, man. You got to give him a lot of credit. But no, I did not notice, Mike. Sorry, brother. Facebook user said, we're not trying to hold on to anything they were trying to hold on to. Say it again. Tilda says, seen this before in previous seasons. Why do you think this year will be different? Well, I mean, that's the truth. There's nothing that you're saying is inaccurate. But I mean, just like if you go to work every day and you say to yourself, maybe this is the day I get promoted, or this is the day I get a raise, or this. I mean, you just never know unless you keep trying. I mean, we can play the game of we haven't won anything in 60 years, but what's the fun in doing that? Why would I want to sit around and say, well, we haven't done this in 50 years. Why am I going to watch tomorrow? I mean, if you want to do that, you might as well start watching football or stop watching sports. Because in football, 31 other teams fail and one wins at the end of the season. So I don't know. I hear you. I'm not trying to poo-poo your sentiment, But I'm also saying that's a personal decision. If you feel like the Atlanta Falcons are going to let you down most of the time, stop watching. I mean, I can't make anybody watch. But I hear you loud and clear. A lot of people think like that. But, yeah. Jimmy says we've been terrible at the Beans. Absolutely, we have. Absolutely horrible. And that's why today people don't realize how rare it's been since that 2017 playoff year. We have been horrible. Horrible on there. What's going on, Alberto? 95 North Falcons talk show. He's on YouTube as well. Make sure y'all go over to his site and push the subscription. Subscribe to him. Great win today, but there is a growing belief on frustration with Kyle Pitts. Yet another game and little production. And I'm going to agree with you, but then I'm also going to say there were too many other things going well today to focus on just Kyle Pitts. The running game gave you 201 yards. It's hard for me to sit here and complain about Pitts getting 3 targets or whatever it was. If we're getting 201 yards of rushing and controlling the clock and actually pushing another team back, I haven't seen us. And we did it during the New Orleans game, the first 3 quarters of that game. But for us to just wheel ourselves to that 200 yards in this game here, yes, the Kyle Pitts thing is a problem because you invested a huge pick in him. But we'll get that figured out. And you know what it might be? It might be after Mariota leaves. Could be. I hope not, but it could be. Jimmy said that they keep it up, more people will come. And that's one of the things that when I was talking about the ratio of fans, of fans for Atlanta and away fans, let me tell you what happens. Because of the price of these tickets and because people can't go to tickets all the time, they sell the tickets. Go on Ticketmaster and see. The Mercedes-Benz is sold out for the most part. Most of the tickets are already sold to people. When you see those tickets on Ticketmaster, people are reselling. So it's not that, oh my God, there's 10,000 seats available. They're not selling out. They say, no, people have bought those tickets. But they go on and they resell them and they sell them, and guess who buy them? People who are driving in from out of town, flying in from out of town. They want to come in and they invade the stadium, just like the Cleveland folks did today. A lot of Cleveland folks. Jonathan says, hey, Big Unc, let's talk about A.J. Terrell. Teams keep trying him. And, look, A.J. is on the number 1 receiver. So if you're on the number 1 receiver, you got to expect them to try you a few times. And A.J. did today like he did the other day. I think some good, some bad. I mean, you knew he was going to be on Cooper. So Cooper going to get some, A.J. will get some. Last week, DK got some, A.J. got some. And I think that was the thing I was trying to explain to people, Jonathan, coming into the year. I think everybody is so quick to want to throw shutdown on cornerbacks, and especially young guys. We don't have a shutdown cornerback. I never thought A.J. was a shutdown cornerback. I think A.J. is a very good cornerback. He'll give up a bad play, but he'll also come back and redeem himself. So I'm not super worried about A.J., but you also have to remember, A.J. is playing their best. Whatever team comes in here, he's going to play their best. Next week, if Mike Evans is back, he's going to play Mike Evans. He might not look great. When Cincinnati's coming here, he's going to be on Jamar Chase. He might not look great. So maybe that's the part why I keep explaining to people. He is not a shut-down cornerback. He's a very good cornerback, but he's not shut down, in my opinion. I don't think he is. Clay said, Nick Chubb, hometown. Let me tell you something. Nick Chubb, man. Woo! Nick Chubb is, really, really good. And I'm trying to pull up his numbers today. And I know y'all probably got them before me, but NFL, our mighty Falcons. Here we go. I'm sorry, y'all sit there like, what is he doing? But Nick Chubb is a bad boy, man. Nick Chubb ended up, I know it's like doom. Nick Chubb had 19 carries, 118 yards, averaged 6.2 yards at 1 touchdown. It's really good. Falcons, Algier, 10 carries for 84 yards, 8.4. Caleb Huntley, 10 carries, 56 yards, huge touchdown. CP, 9 carries, 38 yards. Avery Williams, 1 carry, 21 yards. The Falcons today carried the ball 35 times for 202 yards. So as much as I like the homecoming of Nick Chubb, that was great job they did on him, because I thought they were going to do more. I thought he was going to do more. I really did. Daniel says, I'm headed home from the game. Dang, Daniel, you just leaving? Thought they'd kick you out more than that. RJ said that is his first back-to-back. Thanks, RJ. I appreciate the clarification. And I didn't know. Thanks. Ontario said, tough game next week. Yes, sir. Look, Brady's never lost to us. We know that. So it's always a tough one, brother. Always. I don't think this team is scared of him, though. And most of the guys who are on this team most of them probably haven't faced him a lot of times. So I don't think it's the fear. Cam, what's going on, brother? What is up? Lisa says, finally a home dub. I know Lisa probably just got home because I know it was crazy over there. Look, this is such a good atmosphere today to finally get that win in the bins, man. I'm trying to tell you. Dub J says, take the dub all day. I will take it. John can say it's cool. Joseph Evans, what's going on, brother? Rise up indeed, sir. Indeed. Chuck says, got to give a little grace for Tech to turn around, but Georgia is winning all around. Oh, yeah. And listen, I give credit for this weekend, because when is the last weekend? If the Braves pull off the sweep today, and even if they don't pull off the sweep, because they won 2 of the 3, that we've had Georgia Tech, Falcons, and Braves all win in the same weekend. Y'all tell me when the last one. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Sherman, how you doing? Say it feels good getting the dub, and I'm glad we did, but I'm not going to lie. It was a cakewalk whatsoever. The Browns gave us a little run. Well, Sherman, here's the thing. I think every team is going – I think we're going to be one of them teams this year, Sherman, that I think we're going to be very competitive. If I haven't learned anything from the 4 teams we played this year, which includes our arch nemesis, the defending world champs, an up-and-coming team in the Pacific Northwest, and the Cleveland Browns. Those are 4 totally different teams with totally different styles. And we played every team up to the last minute. Every game came down to the last minute. So I think it's just going to be one of those type of years for us. But yeah, the Browns are, they're going to be a good team. Did they miss Miles Jarrett? Absolutely they did. I'm not sure we would have been able to take that edge like Huntley was doing if Miles Jarrett was there. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm glad he wasn't there. Falcon fan, Uncle Steve, what's up? The son of notorious 95 North Falcons talk. What's going on, man? Good to see you in the house. Glad that I'm sure you're extremely happy about this win too. Double A tells us Caleb Huntley was a breath of fresh air and the defensive definitive spark, needed today. Alberto, again, the momentum on that drive and the crowd, if you would have heard the crowd, I don't know if y'all could have heard it through the TV, but if you would have heard the crowd as that momentum was building, coming down the field, that we weren't throwing it in the air. Mariota was handing it off, and they were getting these yards. I mean, the crowd popped for that loud. I mean, every run he got, and like I said, in fairness, a couple of Algier carries in between there as well. So that was absolutely a definitive spark. You're spot on. Rusty said, yeah, that was Arthur Smith's first back-to-back win. We are going to need to do better than 7-19 passing as a team down the road because, like Tidy said, close to 200 yards rushing ain't going to happen every game. But I agree with your statement that us being scrappy dogfight games this year, that might be our identity. And that is cool because that is going to instill the culture we have been wanting here for so long. And that's, Rusty, I think that last part that you said, that might be our identity. If it's anything that you want to do is make sure you play to your identity. And I think right now with Arthur Smith, I don't think it's about the big 20-yard chunk plays. I don't think it's about running down the field, unless you're behind. I don't think it's about trying to pass 7 straight times on the field. I think the identity is this team is to try to run the ball, wear you down, and eventually take some of that time off the clock, give your defense an opportunity to rest. And so you can be somewhat in the middle, in the game at the end. The only game that didn't turn out that way was the Rams, because the Rams kind of, raced out to the big lead. But giving this team credit that they said, you know what, we're not going to run out the clock the rest of the game. We're going to try to win. And dang near did. I think that's something great as far as the identity. Now, as far as Marcus Mariota, you're absolutely right. 7 out of 19 passing, no, that's not going to get it done right. But I think, as I've told you, and you've heard my rant before, Rusty, I know you have, that Marcus Mariota, who we thought he was, he is not going to be 25 for 30, 315 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's not him. But you know what he is going to be? He's going to be, the ball fumbled over my head. Let me get up and have the know-it-all to throw it towards the out of bounds so I can save the line of scrimmage. It's going to be, I'm having to move out of the pocket and drift to my left, but I see OZ over there breaking off by himself, and I can throw the ball across and make that throw. That's what he's going to be. That is, because one of those 7 passes was that one, and that was one of the ones that won the game for us. So, yeah, it's gonna come with, the good and the bad. And Mariota, he's our quarterback. Why he's my quarterback, I'm going to support him, but we could do better. Julie, how you doing? Say, I love the kid. I think we talking about Huntley on that. Absolutely. This is really a good story. Keith, what's going on? Say, we did well today. That's what we should expect to see from our Birds, a heavy run game. Huntley looked great today. We're going to be all right. Absolutely. Dub J says, feed him. Julie said, I loved him from watching him in the open practice at the stadium. Yeah, it's easy to like these guys, too. I don't need Hard Knocks and HBO cameras to make me like some of these cats on the team. And you think about it, these are different guys all the time. Think how Hodge, what he did for us, albeit in a loss, how he stepped up his game in one of the games. How Troy Anderson was able to go in there and do a special teams play for us in one game. Last week, Marcus Mariota was able to, help us go down the field for that last drive that we needed. I mean, we just gotta, take the good, take some of the average play, as long as it's turning into wins, y'all. My brother Jason, what's going on, cuz? Yeah, we love it life here in Philly. I'm sure you are. Those Eagles, man. I'm not even going to lie to you. I kind of thought the Jags might, I didn't say they would, but might give you a little bit more than you can handle. But Philly's ready, man. Philly is ready. And to think Jalen Hurts was probably like kind of, when you think about it, yeah, he was a second round pick, which is kind of a throwaway. This was a guy who 2 years prior was probably thought to possibly be a top 10 pick. You got him for a second rounder, and now he is paying dividends, and Philly looks tough. Philly right now looks like the best team in the NFC through 4 games right now. No doubt. And as long as y'all beat up on Dallas, I could care less. So keep fly, Eagle, fly. I see a Falcons identity. Absolutely. Yep. Timothy said, what's going on with the red zone? Marcus Mariota handled the ball in games. And, Timothy, that's a legit concern. This is the 4th straight game that he's put it on the ground or had some type of, whether he lost the ball or not. The one ball that came up on him today, it came right in his hands. And I don't know. That is something to be concerned about, Timothy. I am concerned about these little fumbles. We got to clean that thing up. Better to clean it up after a win than a loss. But yeah. Lisa said the way Chubb was eating, I was surprised to learn the Falcons ended up with more rushing yards than the Browns. Go Falcons. You know what, Lisa? He was gashing a lot more. We did our gashing in the second half. And CP did his normal CP thing in the first half. But I don't know what the Falcons did or what they recognized about Cleveland. But give whoever made that decision to run like they did with Huntley and Algier in the second half, give whoever that is a lot of credit, because not only did that chew up a lot of clock, but, at the end of the day, football is a physical sport. You kind of punk the Browns a little bit. When you can run the ball down somebody's throat 10 straight plays and score a touchdown, your defense looked kind of soft. And at that point, we were, Cleveland had just come down and kicked the field goal. And you just ran the ball down their throat, man. What a good feeling. And the Falcons fan, when the last time we seen that? That's crazy. My brother Jonathan Freeman, how you doing? Brother say they do play hard. And that's what you want to hear about your team, right? Just like I was talking about. I guarantee you, if we go to Cleveland Sports Radio right now and listen to a post-game show, they're talking about that Caleb Huntley drive. They're talking about that. They say, y'all let the Falcons come down here and drive, run the ball 10 straight times? I guarantee you that's it. Matter of fact, I might have to go to it maybe even tomorrow morning and go tape some. I guarantee you somebody's going to mention that. So to your point about playing hard, that's what somebody will call them out. Somebody will call the Browns out and say they're soft. Watch. Kenzel said, did Hartley get hurt during the game because the team never put him back in after? So yes, it did. Hartley came back. He came back in the game. He absolutely came back in the game. He came back in. He came back in one time and ran. Now, he didn't run after that first run, but Algier started going off. And maybe they were kind of switching it up. He came in one more carry. He did come back in for one. Shout out to D. Alford locking up woo, before the interception and AJ Terrell and Casey Hayward. Again, situational playing. Cleveland was having no problems going 20-20, no doubt. But Cleveland was having a hard time getting in the end zone as well, just like the Falcons were. give the Falcons credit for making the stops when they did. One on a 4th down and one on the ball when they had it inside the 5-yard line. Give them the credit that they deserve. And D. Alford, man, what a story. Another story for the Falcons. Why do you think? And maybe that's why this team does have an edge. Because they have some folks on the team that don't have any business probably being on the NFL roster by other people's evaluations. And the funny thing is, we could be talking about this in 2-2 and, Lord forbid, lose 12 straight games or 11 straight games, whatever's left. But at least you see the effort. You see the go get. I love it. Gator, what's going on, man? Let's go Falcons. Absolutely, absolutely. Scooter, I think I remember me and you talking about this, and when we were talking about predictions, and you did say 3-1. I'll take 2-2, and I know that third game you were talking about was the Saints game, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I look, and you know what I'm also ticked off about? You know what I'm ticked off about right now, for real? I'm ticked off because the New Orleans Saints are lucky 4th quarter against the Falcons away from being 0-4. And I don't know why that makes my heart I don't know why. I shouldn't worry about another team. But I am. That makes me mad. They should be 0-4. They should be 0-4 right now. But hey, it is what it is. Facebook user says, we got another dirty W. It's a W. If you find a bank bag in the mud, are you going to complain about the mud or take the money? Absolutely agree, whoever that is. Thank you. Thank you. That's very well put. Daniel says, smile football. I love it. Huntley gave me Turner vibes. That's a very good comparison, Daniel. Because Turner used to have drives like that too, where he would just take the ball down and keep moving. Absolutely. Absolutely. Daniel says, I waved to Steve. I don't think he was paying attention. Bruh, if you did, look, man, y'all got to say Steve. You know, it's so funny. If Paul is in here, I know Paul Keikos is in here. He took a picture of me and sent it on one of my posts. And he was like a couple of feet from me. I'm like, dude, I'm the only dude that's sitting there with an Uncle Steve, a jersey that says Uncle Steve on the back. Man, come say hey to me, man. Okay? You're not bothering me. My family's enjoying the game like y'all are. But I appreciate you. You should have yelled my name, Dan. It would have been cool to see you, brother. RJ says, after the first 2 games, I like how our team is closing out games. Yep, absolutely. We are actually finished. Say that's the first quarter of the season. Now let's get ready for the second part. We need more work. And the one thing is, after each win or loss, I think it's just, probably a different vibe when you win. But you learn something. Every team, even the Eagles, as we're just talking about 4-0, if you talk to Jason as a man, I'm pretty sure Jason gonna tell you, shoot, there's a lot we can clean up with this Eagles team before we eventually get to our goal. He'll tell you that in a second. Yeah, nobody's saying we've arrived. 2-2 is not arrived. But 2-2 is just funny because thinking about how people has, Looked like he was not in game shape after the few bursts in shape, and in-game shape are 2 different scenarios. Yeah, that's true. Alberto says Nick Chubb is just a dog, literally. Nick Chubb is a different cat, man. And you know what makes me mad? And I'm not a Cleveland fan, but being a Georgia fan and knowing the absolute dog he was as a Bulldog, still don't think they give him the ball enough, man. I think if he was in Tennessee, bro, he'd be running for 2,200 yards. Because I think Vrabel would run him until he couldn't run again. And I mean that. I just think Nick Chubb is that good. I think, arguably, he's right behind Henry. Sean, what's going on? Say red, black, and white. We gonna rise up, yes, sir. All day, all day. And congratulations, Sean. I saw your news about your work, man. Good job. Dub J said again, we'll take the dub all day, every day, and that's what it's about. We can nitpick till the cows come home, but Dub ain't got nothing but truth in this statement. We'll take it. Give me the dub all day. Kenley Jensen looked like crap 2 nights ago, letting the bases get loaded. But you know what? At the end of the day, we finished, and he finished. So we'll take it. Joseph says if Terrell doesn't get a jam off the line, he's going to be sit down. But see, here's the thing, Joe, and I think you and I have had that conversation. We are so quick. And especially in this city where we had Deion Jones, Ray Buchanan, and a couple of really good cornerbacks in the past, we are so quick to want to anoint somebody the next shutdown cornerback. I'm like, stop saying that. Everybody stop with the shutdown cornerback talk. Dude, just let him be a good cornerback. I mean, I like AJ. I like AJ a lot. But I think AJ gonna get beat sometimes. I think all cornerbacks get beat sometimes. And believe it or not, contrary to belief, Deion used to get beat. Not a lot, but he used to get beat as well. So, you know. Daniel says, I've been driving a while, man. Twan says, what's going on, glad to get the home win. It's been a while since I could say that. Nick Chubb is a monster, and we contained him today. And I honestly thought he would have 150 plus and 3 touchdowns. But rise up and let's keep building on this. Twan, I think people would probably think you were crazy to say we contained him. But you're right. Because the myth is that the Falcons defense hadn't had anybody come up against anybody like Nick Chubb before. And I was on the same stuff you were on. 150, 2 touchdowns, something like that. I was thinking that. I was thinking 150. And I said, if we can hold him to right about 150 and make Jacoby become a passer, which is kind of what we did a little bit, because Jacoby passing, as we saw, is about on par with Mariota right now. So, you know. Daniel said, yeah, that's right. I forgot you live in North Carolina. I forgot about that. That is a long drive, brother. Be safe, brother. Be safe. Be safe. Terrence, what's going on, my friend? Yes, sir. Good win as always. My brother D was going on. Said, what up, Unc? How about them Falcons, brother? I love it, man. I love it. And I think we going a long way, man. I think this is going to be something. If people can be patient for the to be continued, and I'm not saying I'm not going to take everything we get in 22. The payoff is going to be 23, y'all. And believe me when I'm saying that. I'm saying that as with the heart of a Falcon fan. The payoff for this team is going to be 2023. When all this salary cap, twisted that up. All this salary cap money kind of opens up and we're able to do some things and keep playing like we're playing now. Folks that want to make money and want to win, all of a sudden you become one of those teams that people want to come to. So we'll see. This team is tough, and you can think playing the Falcons is an automatic win. No. I think after a couple of games, I think the league is paying attention. I know Tampa is. Jonathan said in Georgia State won. In Georgia State, the Panthers won the game. See what I'm saying, man? We got love for everybody. Absolutely. Gator said, just pulling in the drive, first game in person since 2019, man. I'm glad you got home safe, brother. Oh man, y'all gotta let me know when y'all go into these games, man, so I can kind of at least send a note to you, wave to you or something, man. There's a lot of y'all out there today. That's awesome. Say, I tell them Bulldogs, Falcons, and Braves have a W. I hit the Falcons to catch her pretty hard this game up, but appreciate the W. Yes, sir. Philip says Carolina just went down 26 to 10 with 7 minutes. Ooh, I don't know where this fly coming from. With 7 minutes and 30 seconds left, we just need KC to take care of the Sucks. Yeah, that's going to be a tough game for Kansas City. Tampa Bay's defense have been playing pretty good. Offense is garbage, but because they haven't had their receivers, but they have been playing pretty good. Daryl says, great win, situational football. Absolutely, situational football. We mentioned that earlier. Absolutely. That's the key to winning. Dwayne, what's going on? Say, I never understood why Huntley was on the practice squad instead of the 53. He has always ran hard in the beginning. I hope they keep him active. Well, games like that, it's going to be hard not to. I mean, you have to make a decision on you have to make some decisions on whether you want to I guess have extra tight ends, have extra defensive linemen, or extra running backs. Where I know going into this game, knowing that CP was hurt, you were going to have that extra running back in the game. So good to see him get his opportunity. You're absolutely right, Dwayne. Glad to see a physical Falcons team. When the last time have we said physical Falcon team? I mean, because even in the playoff run, because normally when you have a good offense, people don't call you physical. This defense, they make mistakes, but they are physical. Got to give them credit. Couple of missed tackles today. That might have had more to do with Chubb and Hunt more than anything. I truly think Chubb is one of the best running backs in the game. But got to clean up a little bit of tackling. But yeah. Clayton says, only complaint is the timing of the snap. Center and quarterback need a remarriage. Because I don't know if it's center Marcus. It seems like there is a disconnect there with Dahlman and Marcus. I don't know what it is, but you're absolutely right. They better clean that up. You would think all preseason that you had, and now 3 games into it would be a little better, but it reared its ugly head again today. We got to clean that up. I thought we needed back, but Huntley and Algier is a good one too. Absolutely. And again, y'all, CP is not going to be past next year. I mean, running backs usually hit that wall. As great as CP has been for us, I would like to have those 2 young guys take some of those carries from him. And now that they've had real-time game experience today, I mean, let me put the numbers again. Algier, 10 carries, 84 yards. Huntley, 10 carries, 56 yards. That's a lot that they spared my man today. CP only ran 9 times. The other 2 guys ran 20. So that's awesome. So we joked here whether or not fans would be changing into the Braves jersey mid-game. Too nervous at this household to watch and let the apps give us updates. We're so glad to see they played all 4 quarters and we won at home. We can watch the highlight show with pride tonight. Yeah, I mean, and I understand we're a very trying to think what's the term. I don't want to say abused. That's a little strong, but we're used to a certain type of outcome here with these Atlanta Falcons, and I don't blame anybody for not being skeptical about the game. Not at all. Terry Ward, how you doing? Says, yeah, take the good with the bad. Absolutely, you do. Sherman says, do you think we beat the Sucks? I say yes. I don't see why we don't play them close. I mean, let's see what their wide receiver situation is, because it does bother me if there's a healthy Godwin, healthy Evans, and a healthy, I don't even want to say Julio, but if Gage is there, if their wide receiver complement is healthy, that's a problem. Because there's no doubt that right now the strength of the Bucs team is their defense. But if they can put some wide receivers back out there for Tom to play with, they're going to be tough. So I don't want to say, yeah, we're going to beat them down or we're going to beat them. But I think just like with every other team, I think they're going to play their game. The Falcons they're not going to get their arm twisted and play another way. I think they're going to play their brand of ball. And Arthur says, one way or the other, I'm going to run the ball on you. And Bucs, if y'all stop me the first 2 plays, I'm going to try the next 3, and we'll see how it works. But I don't know, man. Give me a couple of days. Let's see what that health report looks like by Saturday. Clayton says, but give Marcus credit, his IQ to pick up and throw out of bounds. Someone else might not have done that. Now, you know what I'm talking about. Our predecessor wouldn't have done that. Clayton, I think that was a key play. And I don't know if you heard me when I was talking about that earlier. Those are plays in the past that would have gave us 3rd and 20 and 3rd and 18, and then we just trying to get in punt position. But for him to get up and throw the ball out of bounds and not lose those critical yards that when you had a 3rd and middling, those are things that's a smart play. That's a football play. He might not be able to hit that 50-yard pass yet. He's trying, but I don't know. Chubb was held in check mostly. He's the best back in the league, so he was going to get his somewhat. And know somewhat about it. You're absolutely right. Again, 119 yards to me, job well done. Job well done. He had the one, obviously the 27-yard touchdown. But, he had his gashes and stuff like that. But, yeah, for the most part, yeah, you held him down a little. Absolutely. What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Hope you are doing well. From what I saw, it's good to see the Ben's packed and active. Love the energy. And that was one of the other things, Brother Benton. I had not seen it that packed. The New Orleans game was not as packed. Which kind of surprised me. My son, when we were riding in, and he said, man, it's not going to be crowded at that game. It's not going to be crowded. And they said that first game was crowded in New Orleans. I'm not going to lie to you. I was thinking the same thing. Man, we usually come down north side. So usually you can kind of tell by the time you get to Pascal's. When you get to Pascal's, if it's crowded, if it's, kind of start slowing down when you get to Pascal's, it's going to be crowded. We start slowing down a couple of blocks before Pascal's. So that let me know a lot of Browns folks in the house. But yeah, the energy was awesome. And especially at the end when the defense needed that energy. And I think things like that, they can say what you want to say, man, but Grady getting that sack, man, and feeding off that crowd exploded when he got that sack. And don't tell me Big Mo doesn't have anything to do with the game. It does. So that was awesome. Michael says, good win and the Aints lost. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mike, I hope you're doing well down there too, brother. Prayers out to everybody around you down there, everybody in Florida, man, and even folks on the South Carolina coast and things of that nature, man. That hurricane was no joke, man. And now, unfortunately, you're hearing about the loss of life and things of that nature. But just prayers out. The damage that I've seen on TV, man. That is just crazy, man. Hope everybody, if you have loved ones down there or friends, just check on them and make sure they're okay. Brother Ryan, the historian in the house. The historian is here every Thursday on Facebook in the Atlanta Bird Gang on Thursdays at 8 o'clock. So make sure y'all check him out. Uncle Steve, that running game was nasty at the end. D. Alfred, middle Georgia boy, balled out. Yeah, we were talking earlier about D. D did a great job, and again to be able to close the game out, man. I heard an interview with him with Dave Archer on the way home. Man, brother seemed so humble and just to get the opportunity, man, to get on the stage, and he had a bad play early. He had one play earlier that they got him, and for him to come back and close the game, I can only imagine what's going on in his mind. Because as a cornerback, you gotta forget you can't linger on plays. Somebody gets you one time, you still gotta go line up and get them again. So for him to throw that first play early in the game out and get that interception, that was awesome. Ryan also says there are a lot of talented football players from the state of Georgia in the NFL because we saw so many Georgia high school legends today. Yeah. And Georgia is one of those teams, man. One of those states, I should say. One of those states that you go look around and you see somebody from Georgia on every major college level. And then, of course, they make it on into the pros. Joseph says, I'm going to have to get an Evans jersey 54. Yeah, because he's making you look good now. You got the Evans name looking good, no doubt. Lisa says, Ainks having a basement party this. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. We're in second place by ourselves, right? They're lucky. They're big lucky because if we went for it on 4th and 1, the Ainks would be 0-4. That's what I was making that point. Yeah. Saints are super lucky. Ryan says, I'm getting Gerald Riggs vibes with Huntley. It was interesting. And I don't know, for those of you who remember a long time ago when we had DVD Dunn, Vic, and Duckett. When Duckett used to come in, they'd always play Luda's song, Move, Get Out the Way, Get Out the Way. And when Huntley ran those first couple of plays, I don't know if anybody heard it, but they threw that song up. And I said to myself, you know, and notwithstanding the Gerald Riggs comparison, which is true too, but there was something about Duckett, and I'm almost wondering whoever played that music. I don't know if Ryan personally decides that or not, but Ryan Cameron, whether he decides that or not, but he kind of almost had the shoulders of Duckett. Duckett had a little bigger trunk, I think, but he was running really good. Big man running. Ryan says, go Braves, sweep the Mets. Yes, yes, yes. We need that today. That first round bye is critical this year. Super critical. Eddie Lee, what's going on, man? Said we desperately needed this 2-game win streak. Eddie, like, desperately, I don't think is enough. And Eddie, even more in this dome, we needed a win because the road wins are nice at TV, but for that fan base, I'm trying to think last year. I remember we beat Detroit last year at home because I'm trying to count them out. I know the Giants game was on the road. Saints game was on the road. The Jets game was in London. The Panthers game was on the road. The Miami game was on the road. And I think the Jaguar game was on the road. So I think we won one game at home last year. So one game at home. You really didn't have fans in 20. I know they had a speckle of fans in there, but you really didn't have fans in 20. So, I mean, for this fan base to absolutely have an opportunity to witness a win, that was just awesome. Twan says, overall, I thought we played well. I know Dahlman, our center, is taking some heat because of his snapping, but I want people to understand this guy came from Stanford. Anyone that knows football know they didn't run a lot of shotgun. So as crazy as it sounds, he's still adjusting. But you notice we're running the ball better, and look at how clean those snaps are under center. That is a good point. The center snaps are really good, but he does need to tighten that up. Panthers just lost 26-16. That is awesome. That is awesome. Absolutely. What's going on, brother Rick? Rick in the house. I know you're happy about that win, brother. Michael says, I know we will have a lot of salary cap, but we also have to pick the right players and hope some of the stars want to play for us. So 2023 isn't 100% for me. We shall see. And again, I think I mentioned that when you say you have to have a good enough team or show enough effort where the free agents, the right free agents, want to come to you. Let me explain. You might not be able to get the best quarterback. You might not be able to get the best pass rusher in the league, no matter how much money you get. But you might be able to get somebody to come here who's a mid-tier guy and sign him for 2 or 3 years. Money doesn't always necessarily mean people going to run to you. Jacksonville was in our situation this past spring, and they made money moves, and they played a little bit better. So that's what I'm talking about. Just being able to do well this year, and then next year kind of, tighten stuff up and get the right people in place. RJ says, we get Isaiah Oliver and Marlon Davidson back next week off IR. And Isaiah Oliver will probably be more welcome. Marlon Davidson got to find his way in that rotation, man. Because some of these D linemen have been looking pretty good. And remember, with those guys coming back, that means somebody's going to lose a spot. So some of these guys we've been, kind of saying, hey, Caleb Huntley, or hey, Abdullah Anderson, or hey, well, Fisker just signed a contract, so he's on the team. But some of these other folks, y'all, we're going to have to say bye to them or either demote to the practice squad again. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. And don't forget, Deion Jones, you left him off the list. Ricky says, I'm loving the run game. I want your opinion on this. Is it time for a Ritter sighting? Mariola's fumble issues is not good for us. And I agree. I literally just finished talking about that, about his fumbles being a problem. And this sounds so contradictory. I'm not here to tell anybody Mariota is the savior and will be the next guy. But I think you're still at a point right now. The team is responding to him. The team seems to be playing with him as far as vibing off of him. I think you keep him in there right now. And eventually this year, folks, I know everybody's in a rush to see him. I am too. I really do want to see what Ritter has. But I just think it's still a little early. Let's let this middle of the season play out. We still got a tough road to go these next couple of games. Buccaneers, Bengals, they think it softs out in the middle with a couple of Carolina games, and all of a sudden Chargers team that's not looking as unbeatable now either. But yeah, the fumbles worry me too, though, Rick. No doubt. Sherman said, I think we made a good choice of keeping Huntley around, but no disrespect to Allison that Dallas picked up. You know what? And I'm going to tell you what, Sherman, I was one of the ones wondering, was that the right move or not? Because I thought Allison played well in preseason. So, yes, great call they made by keeping Huntley because now he's played dividends. I don't even know, has Allison got on the field with Cowboys? I don't keep up with him like that. My brother Quentin, what's going on, brother? Said we're about to be on the road, man. I listen. You win 2 games in a row, man, with a team like this. You can't help but to build up your confidence. You can't tell me these guys aren't confident. So Q, I'm with you, bro. I think a road this has started. False Star says, "What's up, Atlanta Moving Company was working on Sunday." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Michael says, we are still a Jekyll and Hyde team, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Yeah, you got to take some of the good with the bad. It's early, man. I would rather do this stuff now and iron it out by mid-season than to not have figured it out all and be 0-4. So take a little good with the bad. He said that was your sweet sister mother making the Braves jersey joke. Oh, go Falcons! You know what? And I can't see the name if you don't have it on here, but you're on the YouTube now, so I can see you. Thanks, sweet little sister. I appreciate appreciate that. Twan says, when we got up 10-0, I was saying, okay, keep it going. I wasn't relaxed at all because we know our Falcons. I can relax when the clock has 0 and we have the lead. Matter of fact, Twan, I was a little when we got the 10-0 lead. First thing I said was, don't you dare think that this game is over. And I'm glad that I kept that mentality. Getting Oliver, Jones, and Davison is big for the defense again. But remember, getting those back means somebody's got to leave. And some of these guys that we have definitely been, getting adjusted to, we might have to see them go. Ricky says, man, I'm happy with the outcome with the win. Brother, that makes 2 of us. My brother Greg said, I apologize. Switching platforms. Got to iron the Mrs. uniform for work. Felt good walking around the A with my Grady Jarrett jersey on. Let me tell you something. Grady Jarrett, man. Grady Jarrett just reminded folks that, I'm one of the best in the business. Because he's come up clutch 2 weeks in a row. When we needed this act. 2 weeks in a row. Trying to tell you. I mean, just like, ooh. Kojak, what's going on, man? What is going on, brother? Good to see you out here. Ryan says, Dansby Swanson just, all right. Good job, man. Love it, love it, love it. Man, the look on Schertz's face yesterday when Dansby hit the home run, that was one thing. Boy, you saw the look on his face when the whole Olsen hit that home run yesterday. That made my day, man. That was awesome. Say, yes, we did beat the Lions at home last year. Got the picture to end it. Yeah, hey, that was one of those. We barely won that. And when they had Tim Boyle playing that game. So that was crazy. Ebiketie didn't look too bad with the rush. No, I'm going to tell you, Ebiketie looked good. The referees refused to call holding. Go back and look at any play 47 is coming around the corner. Dude, and I said this on the last platform I was with Tidy. Dude, they were holding them. Oh, man, it was making me mad about that. But he's going to be special because his motor doesn't stop. Everybody, and I know everybody wants to see 30 sacks a game. That's not going to happen. But when I see what he is, when he's closing around, he's bringing it. Greg said that was me with the muddy in the mud scenario. I don't know why StreamYard not picking up my phone. I don't know either, man. I don't know. I just say it's the StreamYard is so weird. I might have to start going back to my Be Live account and start using that. But Gregory, I always got room for you, brother. So whichever platform you on, you welcome here, bro. McGarry and Lindstrom in the second half were road graders, bro. It was like, get behind them and follow me. That's for Algiers, for it was just amazing how they were taking care of business. Anthony says, after today's performance of Huntley, does he now shake up the running back room after one game? Not after one game. You still have CP as your number one. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Algier and I think he's proven to be a good number two. The problem is going to be when Damian Williams gets off of IR. Because if these cats are running like they are right now, and you invested money in Damian, that's going to be your problem. Somebody's going to have to go back to the practice squad, y'all, or inactive. And that's keeping it real. I hate that when situations like this happen and people get opportunities. Algier got his opportunity because Damon Williams got hurt. And now Huntley got his opportunity because CP was gimpy. Now, if CP gets back to 100%, and then whenever Damian comes off IR, you got another decision to make. You can't hold 4 running backs on the squad. That's why they keep Avery Williams as special teams on there, so he could be that emergency third running back. You can't have all these running backs on the squad like that. Somebody's going to have to be an active. So there's going to be a lot of egos to deal with. And that's real. Huntley allows CP to get healthy. Well, I hope so. Dang, Ryan said Mets just tied it up. Well, that's not good. Mike says, Pitts did a Casper the Ghost again. All I read last year was a clear space for him in the Hall of Fame. So much for that unicorn. Well, again, I've Mike, and you've been around long enough to hear me talk about it. I like Pitts. I think he's gonna be nice. I just wish we hadn't spent the first round pick at number 4. That's all. Because all of this talk about getting him the ball and stuff like that, last 2 games we won. And I know he had the one significant stuff on the first drive last week. But, I mean, yeah, they got to give him the ball. But I'm more concerned about just winning right now. But you're absolutely right, Mike. There's nothing you're saying that's wrong. Ricky said it is refreshing as a Falcon fan to see that we have the grit to finish a game 2 weeks in a row. Michael, do you think we should pick up Kenny Golladay from the Giants from Island Mike? You know what, Mike? What's going on with Golladay up there is crazy, but they paid Golladay way too much money for us to think about that. Because for him to come here, I'm gonna need him to clear waivers. Because I can't take that salary. Do you see how much he's getting paid? How much they foolishly paid him? Nah, I don't want any parts of that. Nah. Toddy, next 5 games at Tampa, San Francisco, Cincinnati, Carolina, and the Chargers. Now, that's real talk right here, Toddy, because before these first games, we would have probably said 1-4. Maybe with the Carolina game. We would have said 1-4. Tampa, I respect the GOAT. So it is what it is. San Francisco. I had San Francisco as one of my favorites in the NFC. They have not been looking that great. Cincinnati is a good team, but as you see, the last couple of weeks they've been playing. They don't seem like that same team that went to the Super Bowl last year and got on that nice run. Carolina is what we thought they were. And the Chargers, Herbert is not healthy. And Keenan Allen is not there. So, yeah, that looks a lot more doable now, Tidy, than it did a few weeks ago. I was pissed early in the game. It was like 5 or 6 penalties missed for sure, i.e. that late hit on Mario. Oh, man, let me tell you, it was funny to me because I said to myself, I hope they get an extra tee off on Jacoby Brissett. But Jacoby didn't run like that today, except one time for the touchdown. But yeah, that was a total dude, and the referee was standing right in front of him, clearly on the white. Not even one step on the white. His whole body was in the white chalk, and dude took a nice shot at him. But that's because you're a team that's not respected. When you're respected, then you get those calls. You don't get those calls anymore. I keep nodding my head over here because I'm watching this New England Green Bay game. Green Bay is driving 1 minute, 3 seconds left in overtime. Looks like they're trying to move down to get this game-winning field goal. Said Pitts was on the sideline when we went run heavy. Hey, bring the better guys in there. No problem with that. Falstart said Amari Cooper almost got blanked today, 1 catch. Yeah, I was kind of surprised Amari didn't have a bigger game. So that might let you know, hey, maybe we were playing good. But you know what? Jacoby Brissett, almost like everybody was talking about, Jacoby, remember what he did to us Remember what he did to us last time when he was with Indy and all this and all that? It's like Jacoby Brissett is not that great of a thrower, y'all. He hit a couple of lucky ones, but he's not that great of a thrower. He's really not. Say, Pitts blocked his butt off today. He was out there getting dirty and playing physical. Ryan says, ain't nothing like beating up on former Gator quarterbacks. Forever beating up the Gators. Michael says, what is your prediction for the next 5 games on us? I was looking at that, and I'm going to bring back to Tidy's things that next 5. If you ask me right now, Tampa, I don't see us winning. Tampa, San Francisco is here. It's going to be interesting, that San Francisco game with Jimmy G in there. I'm going to switch up and say that might be a win. Cincinnati, I think we can go to Cincinnati and win. Carolina, I know we can win. Chargers, Chargers and Cincinnati, I might flip-flop that. I'd say 3-2, Mike. I can go 3-2. Sis says, yes, I would love a win against the Bucs, but I'm a realist. If we can just make Tom Brady throw an iPad, I would count that for a mental win for us, no matter what the score is. And y'all know he threw the surface. And I think he got fined for that. I think somebody said he got fined for that if he did. So, yes. He can't tear up the equipment. The O-line took over. Got to give credit. However, MM is going to have to play better in the passing game. And I'm going to tell you what, the running game is allowing him the opportunity to possibly get better. And I hope he does. Looking right here at this Green Bay game, the kick is good. Green Bay wins with no time left in overtime, 27-24. I love to see the Patriots lose. I don't care if Tom Brady is not there or not. Folks, it is 7:47, and I have overstayed my stay for about 20 minutes, but always good to overtalk on a winning Sunday. Tomorrow, we will have the aftermath, as we always do on Mondays. Check us out at 6 p.m. I'll be on the same platform, YouTube, Uncle Steve's Lounge, Atlanta Bird Gang. Check me out in here, folks. We'll talk a little bit more about the game and more about the rest of the NFL games and next week's tilt with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Until then, happy Falcon win night. The Falcons hold on and win the game against the Cleveland Browns 23-20. Rise up, go Falcons, 2-2. Let's keep it rolling. As Khaled says, and another one. I just said DJ Collins because I guess it's different Collins out there. But anyway, y'all take care, man. Have a good night. Glad to have y'all in the house.